Hi, this is the Magic Online Championship Series Finals. So right now I have my sealed deck. Compared to like the other sealed decks I've had in the format, this one has almost no mana fixing. So I'm looking at a much more standard two-color deck. I mean, Una is the staring at, basically staring at me in this case. Just a huge bomb. At the same time, you also have like double lightning helix, which is the exact opposite of the spectrum. So obviously this pool is going to be interesting to build. Let's see. I mean, double Bardic Dragon and Molten Disaster, that definitely leads me towards a red control deck. Red has so much removal. Let's check the green. Like the green's the ever mana fixing option, so I mean, you can always play green red. Splashing the lightning helix is always an option. In this case, not really what I want. Like, it's just not. Doesn't seem like the green is very strong. There's a lot of creatures though. The red has very few creatures. It just has tons and tons of removal. Looking at the black, you got this you got a Manalti. Now I'm gonna look at the black and blue in quite a bit because of obviously Una. Una's supplemented by 2 errant ephemerons and wow, 2 Muldrifters as well. I'm gonna need a very good reason to not be playing blue. Okay, so the blue looks extremely strong. The black is okay. Like, you have infinite fairy macabres, which is okay considering I have some Latchkey fairies. So yeah. Let's see, and then the white, you've got the white is, I mean, you have free blinding beams, which is one of the best commons in the format. Might be the best white common, generally because it fits in all the white archetypes. But okay, I mean, looking at this pool, my draws are definitely the lightning helixes, the Una. I think blue. I'm gonna end up playing blue. I suspect the power of my blue cards is just too much. One option I'm starting to consider is playing. I have also Pirate Spellbomb, so maybe blue red. I mean, with Mana Morphos as well, I might be able to splash these lightning helixes. And you know, there's an Engineered Explosives which isn't too bad. It's an early removal spell for 1 or 2 drop, and if I go against the Fallout deck, I mean, if I play red as well, I have some early removal, which is, you know, with the Riftfall, Seclation. Wow, so much removal in red. I think if I played blue red, I'd be playing blue red control. I think I can dismiss the white. The white just isn't very powerful or doesn't have many synergies, so I'm just gonna do this. Sorry, just select white and not play. There we go. I mean, at this point the lightning helix is basically a red card. Let's see, Pirate Spellbomb, you're probably not playing if it's not red. You're probably not main decking Relic. Obviously, seeing this pool, I'm not playing any of these artifacts. So I mean, the other option would be black blue. The black basically gives me like loads of flyers and a Horribles Whisper. So I think, to be honest, I'm gonna play blue. Like, having 2 Muldrifters and 2 Ephemerons is extremely powerful. So I'm gonna build a blue deck and see where that leads me. Pact of Negation is actually not too bad. I might not play it, but like, it's a very, like, obviously 5 mana for a counterspell is not great. But the fact that you can play this at any time to just stop your opponent is quite important. I'm not playing Esperzoa. Gifts Ungiven is not good in limited. So let's add these Muldrifters, these Ephemerons that take possession. The problem with Latchkey Fairy is, if I play red, Latchkey Fairy is particularly weak. If I play, it seems right now Latchkey Fairy seems pretty weak if I don't play it with black, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, you know, what it is. So let's see what I can do. Una obviously goes in this. Now, Errant Ephemeron's really a 2-drop. It's not a 7-drop, obviously. Let's see what else. I mean, I don't think I'm playing green. Well, green-blue is one of my favorite archetypes. The green doesn't seem to complement the blue well enough. I mean, I basically have a Dirkwood Baloff, some 4-drops to Search for Tomorrow. Witness is pretty good, especially with something like Muldrifter. The green in general doesn't seem to have the power level I'm looking for, so I don't think I want the green here. I think, all things considered, the green just doesn't have a big power level, so again, massive cut. I'm probably not playing Academy Ruins. It's not constructed, you know, you're not going to get the explosives plus the ruins combo here. It's not even that good if you did. So, yeah, we're looking at a blue deck at least. Probably playing the Visions if... Dismisser is actually quite decent. I think I obviously prefer Aether Snipe, but not playing Logic Knot if I've packed in Traumatic Visions in the pool. Probably not playing 2 Queen Truths. Petals of Insight is a lot weaker when I have so many expensive drops and 2 Muldrifters already. So if I add the Dismisser... Dismisser is a very good card. I mean, just tempo gain from it is very good. So let's see how... I think it's either blue-red or blue-black. So let's see how the blue-black deck goes out. I don't think I'm playing the Festering Goblins main deck. This is definitely making the deck, regardless. Just because this is triple blue, so if I'm playing 2-color, unless it's like literally blue-black. And even then, I have like so many triple black spells I need it. So you'd be looking at Mad Auntie, Stinkweed Imp, probably all the fairies. Probably all these cards would go in there. Plus the Lashkey Fairies. Might play the Reach Through Mists. I mean, with Horror, it's basically a combo with Horror's Whisper. But it doesn't feel particularly effective, so I don't know. I'm not playing Reach for Mist, and I'm not playing it in the blue-red version. I suspect, even with 2 Empty the Warrens, doesn't really strike me as particularly effective. Okay, so if I need Traumatic Visions in this build, and I probably play the Explosives. So if I did this by converting mana cost, these are 2-drops. Wow, okay, that's an interesting skip. There's almost no 2-drops in the deck. There's almost no 1-drops either. I mean, I'm not a fan of that deck for this reason. I mean, you're probably not... Mad Auntie's not that great here. What you really have is like a million 2G flyers, but you actually don't have that much removal. I mean, you have a blue-black flyers deck, which is fine, but like you don't put a lot of early pressure, and you can't stop early pressure. So I mean, the Fusion sprites are actually quite good. Like just generally, they can actually take a bomb. They are actually very good. But no, I don't think this is where we want to be. I might have to play Festering Goblins. Let's try the blue-red version of this deck. So back here. So blue-red, you'd have Pirate Spellbomb. You wouldn't have Brute Force. Let's put these in here. If I have Mana Morphos, Pirate Spellbomb, and Ephemeron, and Rift Bolts, I'm probably playing the Empty the Warrens. Definitely not playing Fury Charm. That card is very bad. I mean, it's a good sideboard card. Like being able to destroy a sword is actually quite relevant if my opponent has one. Let's see, Sudden Shock. Basically, all these red cards go in. At that point, I'm not playing Explosives. I suspect. Well, being able to kill a sword and like a bunch of equipment's pretty good, but. Actually, let's put that in for now. Yeah, this deck has very few creatures, and in limited, that's generally not where you want to be. That said, this deck does have a very decent plan. Like, having Empty the Warrens, it's basically a blue-red control deck that finishes the game with just a bunch of flyers. Now, the problem in Sealed is that our opponents will have a lot of removal, much more than in Draft. In Draft, some decks have very little to no removal. In this format, they'll have lots because they'll get to play their cards. So having creatures is quite relevant. Now this deck oozes with card advantage. Like, just had so much of it. Latchkey Fairies are probably not in this build though. You know, like, I'm looking at this and the Latchkey Fairies aren't great, which means you're looking at like a deck with like 8 creatures plus 2 empties. I mean, I can see cutting. Like, the problem is like Fiery Fall and Traumatic Visions I probably need to play, just because if I'm playing Lightning Helix, which is you know, quite a powerful effect, I probably need like Border Planes, and between the Expanse, the Fiery Fall, the Visions, and the Manamorphose, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 sources that are permanent and 1 temporary source. And I mean, this is basically like a blue-red Storm deck. And if I think, but the problem is I only have 2 Empty the Warrens. So basically the whole deck just tries to engineer that turn where Ephemeral comes off and just goes nuts. Like, the turn before Ephemeral comes, you suspend a Rift Bolt, then you Manamorphose, etc. I mean, you have so much card draw, so it's actually quite feasible. And Explosives can help the... I mean, Explosives is just additional removal for artifact equipment, which might be a problem. Now, I'm not playing Pact of Negation, I think, in this build. I think, like, Pact's okay, but I'm gonna actually have a lot of untapped mana. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. Pact seems okay, but I'm not sure it's the card I want in this deck. I mean, right now I need to cut 1 card. Let's see what this looks like. So obviously the curve is very weird, so let me arrange that here. So you have Pirate Spellbomb, a lot of red burn spells, and Rift Bolts. Like, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you do have Torrents and Stone, so I forgot about that. You do need your lands, which is why I'm not particularly keen on having a Reach Through Mists. But if Reach Through Mists also like boosts Empty the Warrens, then that starts making it almost playable. So looking at this deck, trying to figure out if it's gonna work, and I think it is. I don't think it doesn't have many creatures. It's just got infinite removal, and the creatures I do have, like, I have 2 Partick Dragons and an Una, and, you know, Muldrifters, like, sorry, and Ephemerals as well. So like, basically every creature in my deck, aside from like the Goblins, I think, and the Dismisser, are flyers. And I mean, they're good. Like, they're resilient. They're 4/4s. I think Muldrifter is a little less resilient, but hey. So yeah, so the plan of this deck is basically to just kill everything my opponent does and bury them in a torrent of card advantage. I mean, Molten Disaster is very good too. I mean, the kicker is not always relevant, but if you think they have like a Test of Faith or some kind of general pump spell, then yeah, it becomes pretty good. It's basically Earthquake for an extra red, which is still very good, obviously. I mean, Engineered Explosives is maybe not super strong. It might be the card I bench, I think. But being able to destroy like swords is pretty good. And with Manamorphose, you can sometimes get to the magical 4 colors. So it doesn't help me cut a card here. So I also have Glacial Ray, which is another arcane spell. So I think I'm gonna cut maybe the Sudden Shock, which seems wrong, but like, basically this deck will need lands. Like, I'll draw into enough, but the Traumatic Visions and Fiery Fall get the planes essentially, so I really need them. And it's not, Traumatic Visions isn't actually that bad. Like, for 5 mana, like countering a 6 mana bomb is actually pretty relevant. Like if I have the advantage, I just pass a turn and then keep Traumatic Visions up. Explosives is a good way to boost the MTGO Warren's Storm as well. So yeah, so I have 4 minutes, so I really need to choose now which card to cut. I think because I have 2 Rift Bolts, I don't really want to cut the Sinister, like it does something that the rest of the deck doesn't. So I either cut I think I'm going to cut the Sudden Shock, simply because I don't think having it being split second is generally too important. And between 2 Rift Bolts, and also have like a Glacial Ray. So actually Glacial Ray means that I probably want I might have the Reach Through Mist just because of that Glacial Ray and the Storm count, which means at that point I'm cutting 2 cards, which are going to be the Sudden Shock and I think the Explosives, and I can use the Reach Through Mist to splice a Glacial Ray, filter through, add to the Storm count, so it does a lot of things. So yeah, it's basically blue-red control with Storm. Adding the lands, let's just definitely want planes, obviously. I think you're looking at, I need the blue early for Ephemeron, but otherwise I don't. It seems I need the red earlier, so I'm going to do what they suggest, probably. Just gonna be no swamps, no forests. Forests, well, oh, Manamorphose, okay. 1 plains, 7 islands, 8 mountains, I suspect is the mana base. I think with Manamorphose that can act as a blue source, that's okay. And the blue I don't need until quite late, apart from Ephemeron, so even if I need multiple blue, the extra mountains are good for Torrent of Stone, good for Bardic Dragon, so yeah. I think that's my choice. And yeah, wow, I just realized apart from the MTGO Warren's Molten Disaster, it just doesn't affect my board, which is really sweet. So if I add that, I have the 8 mountains, 7 islands, 1 plains, 1 expanse, plus all the land searchers. I think this is definitely a good deck. Now the field's very tough, but hopefully that'll do it. So yeah, see you in a bit for game 1.